is my name. And yes, I have the Tribune and the Vanguard there. We have the Vanguard and Tribune here, and yes, we go through the headlines after this short timeout. Stay with us. FM 98.5 right in the city of Ibadan. Like I said earlier, yes, stories make the rounds in the newspapers today. The Punch is here, the Vanguard is here, the Tribune is here, and yes, staring Tola Teliba, yes, in the face right now is a story that is interesting. I mean, it is giving Nigerians worries. Yes, worries, and also interesting, talking about the PDP crisis.
Well, the PDP crisis won't just go away, and that Supreme Court verdict only seems to have made things messier, and the problem is far from being solved. It's like restarting the crisis all over again. That seems to be what the Supreme Court verdict has done.
Yes.
And why do I say this? I have a banner headline before me this morning. It's saying PDP crisis, wicked dares banks, marking the backed faction, threatens to shut down offices, banks that open accounts for party. Well, they can only shut down those offices in Abuja. I think that's why well, we sympathize with Wike. Turaki faction says, and he says we are already operating parties' accounts. So I wonder how many bank accounts will be opened in the name of the PDP.
Yes.
Different factions and the accounts bearing the same name or designation.
PDP.
Or maybe there will be a way that the account of A faction will be differentiated from that of B faction. All right, Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister, Mr. Nyesom Wike, and the Tanimu Turaki-led camp of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, traded words on Wednesday over legitimacy in the unabated fight over the control of the party. The recent Supreme Court judgment, rather than arrest the fight, had merely deepened it, as Wike, who backs the Abdulrahman Mohammed-led National Working Committee, NWC, insisted on Wednesday that it remained the legally recognized PDP leadership. The latest clash came as Wike hosted his usual monthly media chat at his Abuja residence, where he dared the Turaki-led camp to open an office or a bank account in the name of PDP and face the consequences. Wike also threatened to seal off any building or property rented to the camp to operate in the name of PDP. The minister said, "You cannot continue to deceive Nigerians. If they are sure they are the authentic leadership of the PDP, Let them open an official PDP account and tell party members to pay nomination fees into it. Let Turaki, as a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, open an account for the PDP. Let them announce it publicly for members who want to contest elections. That day, you will see what will happen. Remember, what will happen?
Yes, I don't know. I don't know what that is supposed to mean, that statement. What is it supposed to mean? Will he bring in what now? I don't know.
Okay, it speaks further. According to him, the Turaki-led camp remains illegal. Hence, anyone, including banks that offer recognition, is acting in violation of the pronouncements of the law. He threatened, and quoting him now, that bank will be in trouble because to open such an account, you must provide the party's authentic documents and recognize leadership. Who has those documents? If anybody goes ahead to open an illegal office in the name of the PDP in Abuja, well, it's now been specific, Abuja. I will seal it. I will not allow any breach of peace because my duty is to maintain law and order in the Federal Capital Territory.
Okay, he is now focusing on the Federal Capital Territory.
And maybe it's also threatening to invoke whatever aspects of the law, which according to him bars the other faction from operating. But then they had the response for him. I mean, the Turaki-led International Working Committee.
I am sure. I know.
Now, they fired back at him, describing him as delusional. And someone the PDP regretted ever popping up for several public offices. The faction stated that the certified true copy (CTC) of the best court judgment being awaited would clarify issues such as the decisions on the cross appeal filed by the minister's NWC on the suspension of its officials, including the National Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu. And quoting Mr. Turaki now, that show of shame deserves no response, hence this statement is therefore not a response to his tirade, which is indeed his political swan song and the last kicks of a dying horse. Are you sure that is a dying horse? This statement is rather a profuse apology to Nigerians for offering a platform to a person whose conduct, speeches and reasoning have become not just a national but an international disgrace. The National Policy Secretary, Comrade Ini Enemobong, replied on behalf of the INWC. The party also asked those he attacked during the media chat and through other of his utterances to seek legal redress. Why? Deeper and deeper.
Yes, Tola, the 2027 elections is just around the corner. Well, you might think it is still a long, strain, but it's around the corner, and all these things are still happening. Not only in the PDP, ADC, and all other parties. So what will happen? APC as well. I don't know what will happen, because I know they'll get to one point, and I'm sure two factions cannot vote. Yes, two candidates cannot be put up for elections, especially the key ones, governorship, presidential. For the APC, everybody knows that, and all other parties. So I don't know what will happen. All these issues should have been resolved before now. Everything should have, now, like President Tinubu said, because I listened to a program. I listened to it, I think 2 days ago. And the presenter of the program was asking, and he was actually playing the actualities that President Tinubu endorsed them in Oyo State here. Endorsed. He said they should go ahead. Adebayo Adelabu, former power minister, Sharafaddin Ali, yes, senator, and they played the actualities when the two candidate aspirants said, President Tinubu said they should go ahead. The other aspirant said, President Tinubu, they should go ahead. Now, I am wondering, is President Tinubu trying to, I don't know, maybe do some tricks here, some politicking here, and that if they don't, come to a consensus, issue, they should go to direct primaries. They should test their popularity. That was what they said. So when we saw the video of Chief Adelabu Sharafaddin Ali, it was the same thing that they said, that President Tinubu had endorsed them. So I don't know.
Well, that's talking about the APC now, and
APC, talking about the APC. Yes, talking about the APC now.
And I guess well, the president does have that moral right to favor a particular candidate whom he thinks is the best to rule any particular state of interest, of particular interest, or just a state of high interest. So I guess, well, politically, I'm talking politically, but ultimately it is the people that will decide who rules them. But now, talking about the PDP, now let's talk about the PDP now as a single entity. What I do not get now, there's a particular faction that is bent on salvaging what is left of the party, on keeping the party afloat, and there is another faction that is bent on destroying the party. And it's not a matter of and they are not making any pretense about it. It's not a matter of window dressing. It's what we can all see. So that particular faction, led by the FCT minister Nyesom Wike,
yes,
that seems to want to do everything to do in the PDP and make sure that party crumbles, and yet showing such determination to remain at the head of the party. And questions I ask myself personally: has this man not done enough to the PDP, or is just waiting that okay, the PDP is already in the coffin, and the cover of the coffin is already in place, and what he's trying to do now is to nail that coffin. Nail it finally.
No, not in place, just about to be in place, and later to be nailed.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So, which could be why, because I don't think why he's fighting tooth and nail to remain at the leadership of the PDP is not because he loves that party. It's not because he wants that party to do well at the polls. If he cares about the fortunes of the PDP at the polls, he wouldn't spearhead those mass defections, even in his own home state. He wouldn't be spearheading those mass defections into the ruling party, and he wouldn't be so openly engaged in anti-party activities. And talking about anti-party activities, another question I've asked again and again, which no one has been able to answer: why is it so difficult to ask this man to leave the PDP, even before things got this bad, even before things got to this level? And
it was those politicians that were even living for him. They left him. And he was working for the APC. Yes, I don't know. Is it that so so charismatic, so strong? So I think Abi Otumokbo is involved.
It's not Otumokbo. Well, what I hear some people say is because he has a very deep pocket, and he also knows how to use that deep pocket. Okay. He's willing, and that he has many of the governors actually they owe him something. How they got there in terms of funding. In terms of campaign funding and all that. So many of them feel that they actually owe him politically, and he is the unseen mentor of many of these political juggernauts across the country. And so far, some people are saying that he has become expendable to Mr. President, but I do not think so, Bimbo. They are pointing at the situation in Rivers State that the Mr. President making a pronouncement that the governors should be the ones to decide who and who gets a seat at the Senate or gets to the Senate
House of
or the House of Reps. But then I said it on this platform that that may not apply to Rivers State. That may not apply to Governor Siminalayi Fubara, and he has not really been leveraging on that. If you watch events unfolding across the states, so well, the PDP, they said the other faction, the Makinde-backed faction, they said a swan song and the last kicks of a dying horse, referring to Mr. Nyesom Wike. But I don't think that horse is dying. That horse is as strong as ever.
Yes.
And they must work hard to put a rope around the neck of that horse, and if they can bring it down,
bring it up,
subdue it.
Yes.
All right, let's have this quick commercial break, and we will be back.
Wake up. It's choco time. Donna Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open for and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, taste it, love it. Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
Alright, we're back, and it's good to know you are still there. The program is still Conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Tola, now, okay, back to the All Progressives Congress now. I am just wondering why is this going on? Why will they waive the screening requirements for President Bola Tinubu ahead of its 2027 primaries, declaring him duly cleared in line with the party's constitution and internal procedures?
Well, they quoted the party's constitution and internal procedures. It's their party, and if nobody is complaining, if nobody is saying anything,
but how are we sure that there is the party constitution has not been amended to favor President Tinubu? He ought to have been screened. Yes, he should be screened.
Well, if the constitution is amended to favor him along that line, well, like I said, it's their party, and if the law doesn't stop them from amending, of course they won't tell you that they amended to favor a particular person. And like I said, if nobody is talking, just as in PDP when Mr. Wike was destroying the party and nobody had the temerity or the audacity to ask him to leave, those who asked him to leave got their fingers burned. So maybe the same thing playing out in the APC here. And the majority, well, while majority may not be comfortable, or majority may be comfortable with these developments in the PDP regarding the presidential ticket, those who are not comfortable might not want to speak out because of certain consequences,
yes,
which you and I know.
Yes. Now, well, the decision, as they said, was taken by the National Working Committee at its 188th meeting held yesterday at the party's national secretariat.
So whoever is not satisfied with that has the option of going to court. They can always go to court.
But, well, since nobody is talking, but we don't know what will happen tomorrow. Maybe some people might talk about some things. Now, Tola, talking about, okay, you have some one story there.
Well, here goes the APC again, gloating over the misfortunes of the opposition. Well, I don't know whether I should call it misfortune. Implosion in ADC to our advantage, and NDC constitutes no threat. That's coming from the APC chairman. So, well, I must say that true to the APC chairman's words, the ADC has been quite a disappointment. Nigerians actually hope that they would have a viable alternative, a strong opposition. So to help them decide whether they want the present government to continue or whether they actually want that viable alternative. But then that viable alternative decided to crumble like a pack of cards. So the ADC chairman is now gloating, and this seems to be celebrating. National chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Professor Nintanwe Yuwada, said the crisis rocking the African Democratic Congress is to the advantage of his party. Well, it should be. Speaking with newsmen on Wednesday, the APC chairman, who taunted the opposition parties for breaking into pieces, declared that victory for APC in the forthcoming elections would be a landslide. He said our aspirants are also in large numbers, and when you aggregate these numbers, you can be sure that APC will win most of the seats in this country. We are not belittling the opposition, but check what they are doing. Just yesterday, I listened to the fight between opposition leaders. They are breaking into pieces, and I'm sure they will blame us for their internal crisis. One group is calling another corrupt and refusing to be part of it, while another group says some people cannot withstand competition and want free tickets elsewhere. But in APC, was trying to tell us why the APC is different. Even with the charges, people are still coming in large numbers to buy forms. We did not increase our fees. We maintain them, yet people are coming in droves. We opened up our party. People are not hiding forms. Everyone is buying, including the presidential ticket. But why don't you try and buy the presidential tickets and become a card-carrying member of the APC?
APC, okay.
The chairman makes it all sound very easy.
Easy, yes.
I mean, the procurement of that ticket.
And maybe I will just organize a fundraising event, so that people will contribute money for me too.
And I'm sure everyone listening to conversation will be part of that contribution.
Like one woman that I met this morning. There was this guy that was about to take me to convey me down here, and she picked the woman, and the woman said she was going to another angle. I did not know the woman actually. I knew her, but I didn't know if she was the one. So when we got to one bend, she dropped. The driver was now saying, mama, Emma Bino. But he now said, no, a technology among Dada, Mr. Bimbo Akombi at Tola Teriba.
So you see why you would eventually get that 100 million to buy the APC presidential ticket.
So people will, when I organize the fundraising, people will donate. Okay,
President Bimbo Akombi. So that sounds good, Bimbo.
Yes.
Anyway, for Mr. Yuwada, Bimbo, what I have to say here. Now, him being so sure that they are going to win the next elections, but then for me, politicians must see elections are like a game of football. Not the electorate. The electorate do know who they want to vote. They will ultimately know who they want to vote for and whom they are not going to vote for. But for the politicians seeking election, they must see it as a game of football. The unexpected could always happen. Yes. So you cannot know now whether Nigerians would pitch their tent with you. Ultimately, you must do that which will make Nigerians pitch their tent with you in the next elections. But what I'm driving at here is that, like I always say, let Nigerians decide. Leave Nigerians to decide who they want to vote for and who they do not want to vote for. I think it's too early for him to be beating his chest at this time.
Now, Tola, still talking politics now. The INEC chairman, yes, is given a security concern. Opposition has kicked also against troop deployment for 2027 elections. Well, that one, it has been on for a long time, since previous elections. So, Amokweton's security concern, opposition kicks against troop deployment for 2027 elections. And I understand what the opposition is saying there, because I experienced them during one just remotely one last local government elections in Oyo State. Voter apathy. People were afraid at some in some wards. In one local government, they were afraid when they saw troops deployment. Yes, including the army, the mobile police, and all of that security agencies, very heavy in that way. They just sat down in front of their houses and they were just watching the scenario. They were afraid that anything might happen.
Well, it's unfortunate that happened at that time. But Bimbo, you want to know my honest opinion? I support fully the deployment of troops.
Yes.
My opinion here. And why? Because of the current state of the nation. And I do not trust politicians, not just the opposition, but even those who are ruling us presently. So, but what should be done where troops are deployed is that they must also, the soldiers themselves must also be able to ensure fairness and non-bias in carrying out their duties. And as for people being afraid to come out and vote, as for voter apathy, I think that should be our job and the job of the orientation agencies to assure the people
and the Ministry of Information
that this is what the soldiers, that is why the soldiers are out. This is a peculiar situation and very peculiar elections considering the state of the nation, like I said. So if all this is done and the government authorities themselves are determined to let the soldiers work with a strategy of non-bias, then if you don't have any skeletons in your cupboard, you should not be afraid when you see the soldiers. The soldiers must be told that they have to be as civil as possible and only resort to lethal force where necessary to get rid of those who may want to violently truncate the electoral process.
As an electorate, you just go to the polling booth, vote and just leave. It might be somewhere about maybe 10 kilometers or maybe some meters away. Well, now just talking about this story here. It came up on Wednesday when with the Independent National Electoral Commission, when they warned that growing insecurity, yes, across Nigeria, that is banditry, terrorism, and all those, could make it hard to hold free, fair, and credible elections. And I understand that point. But the opposition parties firmly rejected the idea of sending soldiers to polling stations, arguing that civil authorities should handle election security. The military plays a supporting last resort role in Nigeria's elections, used mainly in high-risk scenarios, but controversial due to legal and political concerns. The concerns arise amid heightened political activity, early alignments, and growing anxiety over the security and environment ahead of the next election cycle. That was the chairman, INEC chairman, Professor Joe Ashamokpeton, SCN, raising the alarm during a visit to the Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, in Abuja. And he emphasized that persistent violence and threats to electoral processes pose a significant risk to democratic stability. I don't blame Professor Amokpeton. He knows what he's saying. Yes, anything can happen anytime. So that is why I said he knows what he's saying.
But the new Minister of Power, it was confirmed by the Senate yesterday, and he seems to want to be hitting the ground running. He has already identified what he says is the major challenge to power supply in this country. Major power challenge is overloaded transmission lines, says Tegbe.
Does he know about power? He's a finance expert.
I guess he has been digging either before the time he was named or shortly after he was named. So maybe he has been digging, and then well, apart from being from the finance sector, remember it's also very cerebral and intelligent.
Yes.
And a respected citizen when you talk of being cerebral, like I said. So I guess he knows what he's saying. Well, as Senate confirms him and Oluyole as ministers. Now, the Senate on Wednesday confirmed the nomination of Joseph Olasukomi to serve as Minister of Power in President Bola Tinubu's cabinet. It was confirmed alongside his colleague Shola Oluyole, who will assume the role of Minister of State for Foreign Affairs after Senate engaged them for hours. Now, Tegbe, who admitted the enormous weight and expectations in the power sector while answering senators' questions, however, assured that he came with a wealth of experience of long years of service to make a mark. Of service in which sector? He said, I come before you as a Nigerian who is shaped with over 3 decades of rigorous professional engagements at the highest level of public sector reforms, institutional transformation, investment promotion, and infrastructure strategy. According to him, the power sector burden is overused. It's overused old transmission lines needing urgent attention. Well, I'm not there, and I've not had the opportunity of digging, but I dare say Mr. Joseph Tegbe is much more. It's not as simple as you are making it seem. I think it goes more. If you are just about that, your predecessors wouldn't have failed to address the challenge if it was simply about addressing the problem of overuse and old transmission lines. That cannot be the major problem.
Yes.
It cannot be.
The major problem is the generation of power,
and that and of course corruption, majorly
yes,
in the sector. The politics, the intricacies, the complexities, the same issues that have bogged down Nigeria's petroleum sector, the same factors that have stopped our refineries from working over the years. Those are the things they should be looking at.
The refineries, and now the Chinese, they are now coming, to take over the refineries, so that they will work.
Well, I guess Mr. Tegbe just had to say something before the senators, and that's why he's saying overloaded. This is making it sound very simple. And I wonder, assuming this is true, so how come your predecessors failed, including the highly respected giant,
revered personality.
Broad personalities that have been given the task of handling that sector. Now, he added, aging and overloaded transmission lines are the main things we need to overhaul. They've been overhauling that as far back as I can remember.
Yes.
Now, power assets are national assets, just like communication assets. Quoting Joseph Tegbe now.
Well, I think you should just peruse all these issues and just sit down, just think. You should just think about it. Bring in some, private advisors, and they should go into these issues and just see what is really happening. Because I know some people know what is happening in the power sector, but they will not talk. But money is always being gulped. Huge amounts of money. Yes, huge amounts of money is just being gulped. Well, it might be right in some aspects, but I think this is on a peripheral level, what he's saying here now.
Now, the name of his colleague, they were screened together yesterday by the Senate, Oluyole, and that name got me thinking, Bimbo, I think it should be a kind of a message to the politicians, not just to the bearer of the name himself. The world does not belong to you alone when you are in the public office. And you must always ask yourself this question anytime you are tempted to acquire wealth illegally, anytime you are tempted by greed to acquire what belongs to millions of people for yourself alone. Ask yourself that question, how much is enough? So, Oluyole, I wish him all the best. He's going to be Minister of State for Foreign Affairs.
Well, before we go to the phone lines, security issues now. Plateau State again. Yes, many persons are feared killed, with several others wounded after gunmen attacked mourners during a mass burial in Inding Fan district of Bakinladi again, local government area of Plateau State. The victims were said to have been attending the burial of 7 persons killed in an earlier attack on the community, and the incident, according to sources, occurred yesterday as villagers gathered to conduct the burial rite. It was gathered that the assailants, who had been observing the ceremony from surrounding hills, suddenly descended on the community and opened fire on mourners as they were digging graves. An eyewitness, a journalist, Masalakim, told reporters through the telephone that 5 communities were experiencing simultaneous attacks by the gunmen. Coordinated attacks. Plateau State again, Bakinladi again.
The same pattern, the same place. As we open the phone lines, CNN founder Ted Turner is dead.
Yes,
he died at 87.
Yes, yes, he had been my fan. Yes, since when before when I got into Be Serious.
You had been his fan.
Sorry, yes, I had been. Yes, yes. Well, when I got into Be Serious, CNN. Then there was no what is these small dishes. There was a free to air. So CNN that we used to monitor.
20 minutes around the world.
Yes,
and every Saturday you would go around the world in 20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah. Yes, and it was through the CNN.
And I had a cousin that asked me that does that man actually go around the world every Saturday in 20 minutes? And I had a lot of explaining to do. All right, let's open the phone lines. And our first caller is here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Oluyole, calling from Oluyole.
Good to have you, Mr. Ojo Michael.
Yes, sir. In a few seconds, this Mr. Joseph Rasu will identify the problem of NFCC. You should address it. God bless you. As it does talk.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. 07055551985 or 08055009850. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is a congratulations. God bless you, my brothers.
Amen.
Amen.
I was once young. Now I'm getting old. But I've never seen someone like Wiki, who is a member of 2 political parties at the time it has been accused of anti-party activities. In the 60s, we all read of how litigious Ladoke Akintola, an elder scholar and lawyer, was dismissed from the Action Group then. The Action Group party then executed its constitutional rights without any reservation. That was when normalcy reigns in the country. Wiki was assigned, as far as I believe, by the master planner to execute a mission backed by the federal might to dislodge the main opposition party. And in Wiki, he did that work with great efficiency. Whenever you see a cricket challenging a hen to a fight, the hen, if it is very wise, must know that something sinister is on the horizon. This is what the party PDP failed to do. If the party are PDP and its executive members who are not half clever, they will have known and detected that since 2023 there was a port, there was a death in the port. While Wike is faithfully serving under the APC, he is still the strongest force in the PDP, having the backing of the executive, legislative, and even judicial arms in the country. What are we now seeing? Wike is now political omniscience and omnipresent in Nigeria. Why that Nigeria?
Thank you very much.
Right, thank you. Well, as for the hen and the cricket, Mr. Kobi, I would rather say that Mr. Wike is the hen and the other faction is the cricket.
The cricket, yes. And the hen will chop. Might.
Gobble up the cricket.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Now, I listened to this strategy yesterday, and I cannot just what laugh. I laugh at Nigerians, and Nigerian leadership. You see, they always want to, in something like power sector, power and steel, or anything like that, anything technological like that. When you bring people who does not know anything about it, when they come, what they first, their first impression is just about the financial aspect and how to generate money and all that. The assets, everything they want to distribute. That is what it. That you can't blame them. That has been what they are doing their brain. So that is what they want to. They always think. Now, I know Mr. People must have consulted some engineers, some engineers that know this problem. But those ones, you know little about it. One thing is, if you want to solve this problem, your first step is to call the stakeholders meeting. Every stakeholder, those who are for and those who are against. Identify, we know the problem, but let us re-identify the problem and point out the solutions. Then different kinds of solutions will come. But I think the best solution is to break this into centers, and from the center to the government agency, from government levels. Now, let's have their own. I know they've done this thing about state. I think they should. That thing is expensive for state to do. They can only do some small megawatts. Now, let us be serious for once about this thing and let these geopolitical zones have their own power electric station, the generation, the distribution, and let the distribution not be only one. So that one distribution company is controlling Ibadan to Niger State. No, they must like you have 4 or 5. Let us see the template. Don't come and meet us very long. You don't end up like others. It's only that energy that have that template that it was not allowed to work. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Alright, I'm talking about power and the state's ingenuity at resolving their power problems. It says Enugu, it seems to be making use of what it has. It says Enugu targets 660 megawatts coal-fired power plant.
Yes.
Says July for ground breaking.
That is what is on ground for them.
And no coal is in abundance in Enugu.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is just now. So that is one of the achievements he did that time. Let's do that now. So that is one of the achievements he did that time. Let's do that again, do another look ahead to another challenge. Now, for example, this is this electricity that we will provide solution to. That is good. Then we have other challenges which are so unique. But I believe if they can at least start from somewhere, we will help that Wike has become an empire. There's nothing anybody can do. What they mean, Wike is now standing tall in both parties, in APC and PDP, and is disrupting PDP. But nobody can challenge because of the power above. So Wike should remember those who have done that in Nigeria. Look at the time of Babangida. We have this one to disturb the election, those who disturb. We couldn't hear their name today. Their name as the terrorists. So if you mention their name, so people will not say anything good about them. Thank you, Dr. Oluyole.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. We're expecting more calls, even from people, our listeners and other listeners across. Now, before I pick this call, hardship, insecurity, poverty pushing Nigerians to the brink, NLC wants, and that means people may revolt, but I'm sure Nigerians will not revolt. We are so rugged, and they have pushed us into the war already. Yes, after this call, we'll take a break.
Good morning.
Good morning, briefly.
From area.
Okay, good to have you.
Mine was the guy who said that with the program of our energy that's concerning the PhD. I laugh at him. So this is time for him to take his own share from Nigerian Post. So that is for that. So concerning with are you hearing me?
Yes,
made himself self-employed through the federal might, serving 2 or 3 political parties at a time, because the court is there for him. If you sanction him, they will go to court and the court will behind them. What else again? The fact that he pulled PDP down after the 2023 election, and he made it now. Where is the PDP today now? PDP is nowhere. Even that is so particular faction. It's nowhere to be found. They are just there. Marketing faction, they are just there. People working for APC. And let APC know that they will never be in government forever. There's no pro that live forever. No pro that ever live forever, never. It doesn't really the end of the APC in this country. And they will lament whatever they have done to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll take this break now and we'll be back.
Wake up, it's choco time. Donna Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open the door and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Donna Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, taste it, love it. Donna Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
Right, we're back and there's still conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM. No water, no class. UI students ground campus.
Yes,
demand end to NASU strike.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Well, this killing always in that area. Okay, I think they have government now. Why can't they go to the root of these things now? All the insecurity perpetrating in the country, there are some people that is why the government will not just do this thing for all. And you are calling election, people are being killed. I don't just understand this. When Nigerians become like this, you'll save us all.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Yes, Tola, we are talking about this UI issue, the NASU strike. Well, they are fighting for their rights, but it is affecting students. You know,
It should.
yes, it's affecting. I don't know what is happening between the federal government and these unions, the NASU, the SANU. ASU has backed them. You know, it is affecting them. I don't know what I don't really understand what is happening. are the authorities being affected too? The authorities of UI?
Well, they should be worried.
Anyway, it is not only UI. Other federal universities too are being affected. Hello, good morning. Before we leave.
Hello, good morning. This has been
Good morning.
God bless you.
Good morning, man.
Reverend Kanababa speaking from Lalate.
Good to have you, sir.
Now, we thank God that people has been accepted to take over the power. I think it is a good omen. But we still have to advise today that we should redeem the name of people of Oyo State, because it also comes from Oyo State. So we should make sure that electricity is available all the time, because of the people that are using it as in their businesses. So we don't want darkness that Okoko nowadays. So we want light. Because when there is light, everything will be, available. And in that sense, we should make sure that there is light in Nigeria. Redeem the name of Oyo State. Reverend Canon Babatode from Lalate.
Thank you very much, Canon.
Well, the ADC is telling the federal government that Nigerians cannot eat GDP figures. They were reacting to the Minister of Finance statement that Nigeria recorded 11.2% GDP growth. So they are telling the CPEC
that is it.
Okay. All right. We have to go. Check your time. It's 7:30, and it's been an interesting time of conversation. And we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi. Thank you very much for joining us on the program Conversation. And Bimbo Akombi is my name once again. To be here for sports tidbits.
Yes, good morning, sports fans. Thursday morning, right here from Oluyole 98.5 FM. Always a pleasure to bring you your breakfast sports show on the radio. And of course, we say good morning to listeners across Ogo 96.3 FM and Agility 92.1 FM. Thank you for joining us. We are live from the mother station in the big brown roof city of Ibadan. My name is Tobi Ajewole, your host, your anchor, your sailor on the program this morning. And of course, we will be transversing the exciting world of sport. We have updates from swimming, also from football stories. In fact, a whole lot of football